To know, hello, Beaver Readers, that this link is going to be available on our Schoology site. And of course, for all of the people out there in Instagram world. So my name is Miss Chambers. I am the Ballard High School librarian. Lucky duck, I know. And today we are embarking on our first chapter Thursdays, where we're going to actually, yes, start reading from the books that are going to be in our summer Beaver Reader List. So if you are curious about some of these books, here's your opportunity, because I am going to be reading first chapters from some of them. And today, this glorious day, which is a little windy, a little overcast, kind of makes me want to like cuddle up with a book. I mean, who's kidding who? I always want to cuddle up with a book. But it's an opportunity for all of us together to be listening to books and being part of something wonderful. So I'm going to start with this book, Pitch Dark. It's on our 9th grade list. All incoming Beaver readers, just know that this is one of my favorites. It's by Courtney, Alameda, and it is a doozy, okay? So it is for all those people out there who like sci-fi and horror and lots of action and a touch of romance. This book has it all. So I'm going to start you off. The main character's name is Tuck, and you notice that he has been in stasis in a ship that has been jettisoned off Earth because they were trying to save the human race. He has been asleep for almost 400 years. Not quite, but almost. And at this point, he doesn't know it, but inside his ship is pretty much the only hope now for human survival. And so we're going to meet Tuck in a second. Cue up. Second protagonist, Laura Cruz, bad mama jamba, ship raider. Okay, and so she actually literally collides with Tuck's ship, and the two of them end up having to outwit their enemies and maneuver around monsters, literal monsters, and then work together. So I'm going to start the book today. I'm going to read the first chapter. I'm going to post it on Schoology, and you're going to be able to see it here. So I'm going to begin. And for all future Beaver readers and all Beaver readers, don't forget, as you read these books, you can always share with me you read them, and you can get a headband. Yes. And so everybody looks good in a headband. Okay. So Beaver readers, get ready. I'm going to take this off for now. I'm going to start us up. Title of the book again is Pitch Dark by Courtney, Alameda. This is from the space log. USS John Muir, NPS 3500. Ships deep, Tier 1, Sector 7. Date, unknown. Time, unknown. I wake up. Shock hits me like a sledgehammer to the chest. I jerk awake. Blind, cold, and wet. My muscles twitch, bones creak, joints pop. Air tubes are stuck down my throat and end up my nostrils. Plastic clings to my spongy insides like cellophane. A mechanized puff of air forces my lungs to expand. The feeling tickles. I cough. Bad idea. The air tube's not ribbed for my pleasure. It's a hell of a way to wake up. Where am I? Where am I? Besides shivering like a little kid in the dark, I mean, I reach out. My knuckles stumbling across a flat surface in front of me. My bones make these small knocking sounds on metal. Tick-tock, tock-tock. The darkness moves, creaking open, letting in a dash of light. It's a door. No, a lid. I'm in a box. No, not a box. It's a windowless stasis pod, which is cozy. As cozy as a vertical coffin. No wonder I've got a jackhammer of a headache and I'm deep-throating an air tube. How long have I been in this thing? My neoprene circulation suit used to strain across my arms and chest. Now it sags loose. My muscles atrophy. My head's restrained with a strap. My torso's harnessed to a web nylon girdie, and my legs are belted separately. Vital water ripples around my feet. The skin on my fingertips sticks up like stiff fins. When I try to move, bile shoves a fist up my esophagus. Swallow it down. Last time I threw up in an air tube, I was 10 and on my first spacewalk. Stuff got into my air supply tank, and as you know what? Not a story you want to hear. Gravity licks water off my fingers and nose. My arms are free to move. At least I'm upright. At least there's gravity. It's little things in life that make it worth living, you know, like air. As I shake off exhaustion, my last memory surfaced me, lying on a gurney while arctic cold Vita water bubbled through my body, initiating hypothermia. Gasping, stasis chems put my brain and nervous system on ice. Mom had leaned over my stasis pod. Sleep tight, Tuck. Bed bugs bite. Mom's sense of humor was never on point. She thought she was being funny, but her voice cracked with the stress of our situation. I guess it was her way of saying goodnight without having to say goodbye. For now, maybe forever. If our ship wasn't found or rescued, it feels like centuries ago. Could have been for all I know. My eyes adjust too slowly. Come on, shake it off, bruh. Blue light leaks in from the outside, highlighting the other stasis pods, but nothing else. I don't need Mom's literal rocket science to know something's wrong. Where are the people in the white lab coats, barking orders, wrapping up the freshies in heated blankets, injecting their bones with thermal marrow and rubbing their wasted muscles? I woken up from stasis before, and I know this is not how it is supposed to go. I know this isn't how it's supposed to go, and this isn't it. We were supposed to wake up saved or not wake up at all. That was a deal we made with fate, but it looks like karma crapped out on us again. This time it feels personal. Hey, I said aloud in the Coglink network. Before we launched, every member of the USS John Muir's crew had a Coglink chip implanted in the prefrontal cortex. The Coglinks connected the crew's bionis with the ship's AI for monitoring and regulation. But they also allowed the crew to communicate with one another on the ship. Mom called it silent, spatialized communication. The rest of us just called it telepathy. I never heard my crewmates' undirected thoughts per se, but their presence, their awareness, always created this subtle static in my head. There's no hum, only silence. Anyone out there? Mom? Mom? Hello? I wait for 3 full seconds, mentally checking the Coglink network for a signal. No response. No blip of human or artificial cognitive activity. Bueller? Bueller? I ask, knowing Mom and her boyfriend Aaron are the only ones aboard who would get the joke. They love retro movies and old pop culture just as much as I do. Hello? Deja? Deja's the ship's main eye. Well, Mom put the AI into hibernation when we went into stasis. It should have roused with us too. Mom? Why isn't anyone answering me on the Coglinks? My stomach churns. Maybe it's because there isn't an us anymore. I've got to get out of here. No way could I be the only one awake. Reaching up, I work the breathing mask off my face. Chunks on my tongue. They rake my insides, dragging the tubes from my throat and nose, tracking bloody chunks on my tongue. I cough, I spit. Pressure from coughing pounds on the insides of my eyes. They feel ripe, like they might burst from their sockets. Warm blood flecks my lips. My lungs shudder as I take an unassisted breath of air. It tastes metallic, tinged with the blood on my tongue. Shite, I whisper without any real voice. My vocal cords are stiff and dry. Static crackles in my ears. Tinnitus, my favorite after effect of stasis, next to nausea. Over the stack of my head, my groan rises and tumbles of different octaves. Ooh. Then I hear the sound of part dying a wail, another part nails on chalkboard. Pain spikes under my right temple, right where the Coglink chips implanted in my frontal lobe. What's that? I think, tugging my legs out of their restraints. The voice sounds alien, but figuratively alien and literally alien are two different things. We never found alien life, but I guess it could have found us out here in reality. It's probably some poor bastard with voice as raw as mine. I mean, that or my eardrums are more earmuffs, and it's almost like screaming at the top of their lungs. I mean, let's hope for option 1. Okay, come on. Think positive, Chuck, Aaron would say. My mom's boyfriend is a patron saint of persistent optimism. Even after we ended up on the far side of the universe with dead engine, a busted communication array, and zero hope of rescue, he still, said, hey, we're still alive, huh? Sorry, Aaron, being alive isn't the same thing as living. I pulled the release tabs on my neck, on my head brace, thrilled to see I'm as toned as a corpse, and then not as fresh as one either. My head falls forward, and then my neck muscles are too weak to hold up my skull. It takes 2 or 3 tries for my fingers to grasp the loose straps around my chest, another 5 to work them free, And when I manage to get them off, I tumble into the bottom of a pod in a pool, in a heap. The water at the bottom of the pod's dead cold. My blood creeps through my veins like mud. I've got no feeling in my feet or calves yet. Shivering, I push myself into the sitting position. But then I fall into one of the pod doors and I tumble my sorry ass into the walkway outside. I'm alone. Some of the other pods hang open, empty, black. Others are sealed tight. Mom's pod and Aaron's pod have been on my, what? Damn it. Left or right? Had they been across from me? I can't remember. A few of the pods look fresh cracked. Their lids gleaming wet in the low bruised light. The ones on my right hang open. The ones to the left are sealed. Help. Oh. I rasp, one note above a whisper, no answer. Fear makes a fist in my gut. I'm sure everyone is just Stella because I'm going to be all optimistic and stuff, right? Yeah, maybe Stella dead. I managed to half crawl, half slide across the walkway, then prop myself up against the closed pod. The digital interfaces on the pod's lid show their inhabitant stats. Brain activity, height, weight, the temperature inside the pod, et cetera, as Mom would say. Quoting like an old musical I couldn't stand. Mom liked everything to come in threes. Her spouses, my dad was number one. He left. We don't talk about number two, who's aptly named. And Aaron was supposed to be her third time's a charm. She always had 3 coffees in the morning, and 3 was the number of times she showered every day. I mean, that woman was hell on our water tanks out here. Numbers on the digital surface interface, changing order and position, creating weird patterns across the screen. Only one set of numbers remains constant across every pod. 02, 07, 2433. The hell? I crush the heels of my palms into my eyes and rub. 02, 07, 2433. It looks like a date. No, not possible. We went into stasis in 2087. While my thoughts are a little too tangled to do the math, I know there is a big jump from 2087 and 2433. 0207 2433. No way nobody ever found us. I mean, 0207 2433. It's a glitch. 0207 2433. A giant ass glitch. Scrubbing my face with my palms, I take stock of myself. My circ suit's falling apart. My left sleeve is ripping off. My zipper's broken almost to my crotch. My hair is as long as a girl's, but not sexy though. Neither are my nails, which twist like spikes off the tips of my fingers. I can count my own ribs. My skin is fragile like rice paper. Whew. My blood runs so thick. It beads from the rips of my skin like silicone-like bubbles. What if Mom woke up before me? What if she's already dead and gone? What if everybody's gone? I'd be alone, lost in space on this godforsaken... Something moves on my left. I turn my head, groaning as a rocket of pain launches its way up my spine. The winds. A man stands 6 meters away. In the darkness, he's a shadow. His head's down, and it rattles and twitches back and forth like he's having a super localized seizure. Hey! Hey! I huff, finding myself breathless. My voice scrapes out gritty. You okay? A dark mark skids down the front of his circ suit, staining it from the collar to the navel. His bony hands and forearms are covered with this oily, dark substance. It drips off the end of his fingers and patters on the metal floor. Drip, drip, drip. He takes a shaky step forward, wheezy. Stasis has a lot of nasty side effects, but seizures aren't supposed to be one of them. I try to get up, but my legs won't respond. I can feel my hips and thighs, but not my knees or my calves. Bragging stasis paralysis, fear reaches past my ribs, pinching the soft things in my chest. Hey, bruh, I say, how long you been? His head spasms, lolling back to his shoulders. Awake. Even in the dimness, the unnatural swell of his throat is visible. His cheeks are torn open. His jaws unhinged like a snake. Tentacles reach from between his bloated lips, and they suckle his torn flesh and chin. Holy mother of... He groans, and the weight of his voice hits my temple. Physical like a fist. Pain explodes from the crown of my head to my cheekbone. My nose cracks. Blood faucets from my left nostril, splattering over my mouth and chin. Oh crap. Oh hell. Little alien shite going down right now. Oh God. I scramble backward, half kicking, half dragging my useless legs. Fears got me by the balls, and they're doing all the thinking. Not something I'd recommend. The man takes 2 shambling steps towards me. He wheezes again. Head convulsing, his breath hitches several times in a row, like someone about to sneeze. I look around for a weapon, for a place to hide. There's nothing but stasis pods for meters around, most of which hang open. I pull myself back into a pod, but I'm too weak to keep the door closed against this bastard. And I can't outrun him with these bum legs. With a growl, he shambles forward. My heartbeat hits like a spike through my chest. We're gonna go mano a mano with me stranded here on my ass. The guy tumbles on top of me. He smells of bile. His jaws snap twice, centimeters away from my nose. I jam my palm against his mouth, holding his face shut. His tentacles wrap around my wrist. Needle-like teeth bite into my palm. I grunt. Ugh. No way will I be able to fight him off. Half of my body isn't responding. My brain cries of fight, fight or friggin' flight, you dumbass. A mechanical whir explodes behind him. White light bursts over the pods. The bright blade of an ion saw bisects his forehead. I jerk my hand away. The beam splits his head in 2 and pops the balloon of his throat. Blood strikes me in the face and the chest, and he gurgles, and then I shove him to the floor beside me. It's only when I notice his eyes are actually blackened and swollen shut. He couldn't even see me. What the hell? Tuck. I look up panting. Aaron stands in front of me, an ionized chainsaw guttering in his hands. Red blood sloughs off its glowing teeth. He wields it like a sword. Trembling. You're alive. His face crumbles as if he's about to cry. All I can do is nod. If he cries, I'm going to cry. And I don't need to puss out any more than I already have today. Thanks. Aaron looks like hell. Soaking wet. So bony. And his Cirque suit hangs off his body like a drape. I mean, he used to be a big guy. Mom liked him muscular, but not necessarily dumb. And now he's like whole. His hair clings to his face in these wet black spirals, and his eyes are sunken like deep wells, more skull than face. He's weak. It takes him 4 tries to just shut the ion chainsaw off. I'm so damn glad to see another human being. I don't care that it's my mom's much younger boyfriend. I can't imagine I look any less pissed scared than Aaron does at this moment. Where's Mom? I gasp, throat burning. But not at the corpse in the room. Dad? I ask. Let's hope not. He steps over the man, almost tripping. Your mom's the only one who can save this ship. What happened to him? I say, gesturing at the corpse. We don't know yet. We? Is it other survivors? We, he affirms, offering me a hand up. I grab his bony forearm. He pulls me to my feet. We limp forward in the lowest and the slowest 3-legged race ever run. You're skinny enough to be a crutch. I huff. Yeah, you're just a regular Rambo, he retorts. Told you he loved the retro movies. Glad to see a near-death experience hasn't affected your sense of humor. Just trying to lighten the... Another scream echoes through the darkness, cutting me off. Aaron shudders. Been awake an hour. Pods are opening on their own. Ship's AI is non-functional. He takes a deep breath before continuing. So we can't work with Deja to rescue the people inside. I'm not sure we want to. Since they're half mad 90% of the time anyway. In Mom's pod, open or closed? Aaron exhales through his nose, making his nostrils flare. Open, he says, but dry. She's gone. We wake up in this nightmare without her. Come on, Aaron, buddy, I say. My feet are still light and handy as bricks. You're supposed to be the optimist, one on this mission. Ah, a Die Hard reference, huh? Nice, he says as we stumble down the aisle, both trying to stay vertical. Well, yippee-ki-yay, kid. That is optimism. Otherwise, I'd say we woke up in hell. Beaver readers, that was Pitch Dark by Courtney Alameda. If you haven't read it, get it. It's awesome. And that is our first chapter Thursday. So glad you could be with us. You can, obviously, if you found this link, you know it's on Schoology. And thank you for joining us today. See you next week. And look for Schoology, where I'll be sharing our next book we're going to be doing for First Thursdays. Take care, everyone.